Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We're starting off with clear conditions this morning, and we'll have another warm day as we have been seeing the last few days before we start to see some more unsettled weather move into the area, as well as some cooler temperatures starting this evening. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have a boundary off to the west and northwest. That's going to slowly pull through the area as we go into the evening time frame. This evening we'll see those winds shifting and those cooler temperatures moving in behind it. We'll also see a slight chance of a few light rain showers moving through the area as this pushes through as well. If we look at current conditions this morning, we have those clear skies, picking up a little bit of mist on the observation this morning, but winds out of the southwest at 7 knots, temperature at 65 degrees, and relative humidity is at 87%. If we look at the current visible satellite as the sun rises here, you can see just some low clouds well off to the north, but mainly clear over the local area, and again some much more cloud cover off to the northwest where that boundary is currently located. So we look at the short-term model here to see how things play out as we go through the day. Again, expecting a dry and another unseasonably warm day. As we go through the day, we'll see some slightly breezy conditions with winds out of the southwest. Going into the evening time frame, we'll see that boundary start to sink through the area. That's when we'll see those winds shifting out of the northwest, and will be fairly breezy along the boundary as that boundary pushes through. And as you can see, a few light showers possible with that boundary pushing through. And then as we get past the midnight time frame, most of the shower activity should be off to the southeast, but can't rule out a few light showers continuing to linger around the area as that boundary somewhat stalls over the local area. But again, the main picture will be some cooler temperatures and cloudy conditions as we go through the morning hours on Tuesday. So go into the day on Tuesday, we'll see a chance of a few light showers continuing through the day on Tuesday. And then along that boundary, we'll see an area of low pressure developing off the coast. That's going to help to enhance some of the precip chances as we get later into the afternoon, with a good chance of seeing some more light to moderate showers as we go into the afternoon time frame and continuing into the first part of the evening. As we go through the overnight into Wednesday morning, we should start to see that low pressure pull away. With it, we'll see those showers start to push out of the area with things drying out, and we'll see mostly the partly cloudy conditions as we start the day on Wednesday, with an overall partly cloudy conditions through the day on Wednesday, but we should remain dry. But on Wednesday, we will see a slight increase in the winds with some breezy conditions during the day on Wednesday. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we're starting off with green conditions and clear skies. We'll see just a few cumulus clouds developing as we go through the day today. We'll see the winds picking up out of the southwest at 9 to 14 knots, with peak winds up around 20 knots. And we'll see temperatures warming up to around 79 degrees, which is well above average for this time of year. And as we go into the evening time frame, that boundary starts to move through the area. We see an increase in some cloud cover initially, and then we'll see those winds shifting out of the northwest at 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to 25 knots. So we do have an orange risk for winds at or above 25 knots. So good chance we could see a wind advisory as that initial boundary pushes through. That's when we'll see the strongest winds. And then going into the evening time frame, mainly past 1900 local, we'll pick up a chance of a few showers with that boundary pushing through. So we do pick up that yellow chance of precip. And as we go past midnight, we continue with the yellow chance of precip. We'll start to see the winds weakening slightly down to 10 to 15 knots, with peak winds around 22 knots, and then gradually down to 9 to 14 knots, gusting to around 19 knots. So we drop down to a yellow risk of winds at or above 25 knots. And then the precip chances become just a slight chance, about 20%, as we move through the morning hours on Tuesday. And then eventually we go back to green conditions for our winds, but keep that yellow chance of precip as we go into the start of the day on Tuesday. Right now, tides running about half a foot above normal. And as we go into Tuesday, we'll see mostly cloudy to overcast conditions. We'll see much cooler conditions behind that front, with the temperatures falling off as we go through the overnight tonight, and seeing our high temperature just not rebounding very much to around 53 degrees for Tuesday. We'll see that chance of light rain as we go through the day, and then the best chance of rain will be as we get into the later afternoon and into the evening time frame, and that's when we'll have a chance of some light and possibly some moderate rain as we go through that time frame. So we do have an orange risk for precip, and keeping a yellow risk for those reduced ceilings and visibilities with that precip activity at this time. Not expecting any significant lightning chance as we go through the time frame. Those conditions continue as we go into the first part of Tuesday evening, so a good chance of light to moderate rain, mainly early in the evening. Then we'll see those rain chances start to diminish as we go through the overnight, and then we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we get into the later part of this time frame and into the beginning of Wednesday. We'll see chilly conditions with a low around 40 degrees and a breeze continuing, but not significantly strong breeze for the evening time frame there, but keep that orange risk for precip, yellow for those reduced ceilings and visibilities. And as we go into Wednesday, we'll see a return of more sun into the area with just partly cloudy conditions, but we will see the breeze pick up a bit out of the northwest with breezy conditions, and cooler conditions continue with a high around 54 degrees, but we do pick up a yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots, so a chance of possibly seeing a wind advisory as we go into the day on Wednesday. Well, that will wrap up the 8:15 Daily Operations Weather Briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.